What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of the light bar bracket build. I wish I could have done it sooner, all in one time, but unfortunately that was not possible. So what I've done so far is I have duplicated the plate and then mirror imaged the bracket. So let me show you what we got. Whoosh. This is where we're at. So this is basically what's going to be the finished product. And I honestly believe if I put bolts in here, it's going to look like... that being said, I think what's going to wind up happening is I'm going to trim it. And I think what I'm going to wind up doing is going right at this edge, coming across, and I'll put a bead on that. I pulled the front forward, so the farther forward it comes, the lower it goes. And it separates my lights a lot better. But the bottom one is a flood beam. The top one is a spot beam. So the top one, I need to have adjustments. And I'm pretty sure by making those holes bigger, I should have quite a bit of adjustment. When these are mounted, yes, you're absolutely right. I'm not going to be able to adjust those. So when those are on, those are tight, and that's it. If I ever have to change these lights out, it's going to be a huge pain in the rear. I'll deal with that when the time comes. If that time ever comes. Well, I've got these marked where they need to be. We're going to pull these off, pull off the other side, and then start cutting and welding and fitting. So now that these are cut, once I get a couple tacks on them, I can take these clamps off and make sure that they're identical. They were identical before I went through all that, and hopefully they're still there. What I didn't realize is once I cut this off, my transfer mark is kind of pointless. I did scribe, I don't know if you can see that. I did scribe a line in there. You can see the sheen of the scribe mark. So let's get these tacked up, check them out. All right, so we have them both welded off. Whoop. They're both welded off. They didn't come out so bad. Actually, they look pretty good. Now we just got to get them ready for paint. Well, it is a new day, and it is really, it's really cold in here this morning. So we're firing up the fireplace, and hopefully we can get it warmed up in here. We're gonna get these, get the fireplace going, and get these sanded up, and. And I'm going to be using the free version of the Chewy spray booth. But we're going to be using Rust-Oleum self-etching primer. I've had really good luck with it. And kids, don't try this at home. Especially with the Chewy system, because the Chewy system doesn't like flame. And really? Now we're going to do this. Come on. There we go. Maybe the bottle's just that cold. I'll see y'all in about 40 minutes. I wanted to show you guys this. When it's cold in the garage and I have to paint something, I get this thing smoking hot. Because as you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's the moisture leaving the work right there. You see the moisture leaving it? Once they cool off a bit, I mean, you get them pretty hot. You don't want to paint them while they're, cooking, I'm going to set this phone up in the tripod, and we're going to get busy. Son of a... Well, Murphy's Law. Murphy's an asshole, if anybody wants to know. We're going to be coating this with, yeah, Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. So, here's our finished product. Didn't come out bad. I did not sand that like I had planned. It was an afterthought. This is the one that hit the ground yesterday. It looks pretty bad, but I'm going to run with it because I'm running out of time. I mean, it'd be different if it was a customer's car. I'd be redoing the whole thing. But at any rate, that's it. And we're going to go with it. So my next issue is the only screws that I have are these cap screws, but they're too big. The heads are too tall. I did order some. They're not going to be here in time, just like the rest of my stuff that I ordered. Because what happens is the screws wind up hitting right in here. So I did manage to pick up 4 bolts for these, and what we're going to do is we're going to stick these in a lathe and we're going to machine the head down a little bit, about halfway. So we've got one chalked up in a lathe, and we're going to pull about 70 thousandths off of these. That should do it, I think. I do have to grind that little nipple off the top of it, but I think that's going to work, and I think it's going to work good. Well, and there they are. That's them finished. And by putting these on the lathe, you can see why I opted to trim these off, because both of them are so, not so much that one, but this one extremely close. Nylock nuts for the win. Well, that took me just shy of 28 minutes to put that together. It's really cold in this shop this morning. I mean, it's 25 degrees out. I was supposed to insulate the garage over the summer, and well, I mean, that didn't happen. So I'm dealing with it today. I do have some great things planned in the future. I do have well, we're going to get the engine. I think that's going to be next. So the parts are supposed to be here Friday. Those parts should be here. Otherwise, we would have done that. Hopefully this coming weekend, I'll be able to get the engine done. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do the shock mount. As soon as I get that done, we can get the engine in. We can get the cage back on, the shocks back on, and get her off the jack stands and rolling again. And then after all of that, we can get on this overland trailer build. And I'm chomping at the bit to get started on that. But so at any rate, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.